Ukrainian defense intelligence drones strike oil depot in Russia's Kaluga. Fortifications built near Zaporizhzhia in anticipation of Russian offensive, and how frozen Russian assets could be key to ending war in Ukraine. The latest news next. In an operation carried out by Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, Ukrainian drones struck a fuel and energy infrastructure facility in Russia's Kaluga region on the night of the 24th to 25th of November, reported by Ukrainska Pravda source in Ukraine's defense forces. About details, a kamikaze drone strike caused a series of explosions on the 25th of November, and the fire broke out as a result of the attack. Footage from people who witnessed the attack posted to Russian social media shows unsuccessful attempts by Russian air defense to counter the attack. The target of the attack was a Kaluga neftoproduct oil depot, which is part of the Russian defense industrial base backing the Russian aggression against Ukraine. Drones have attacked the Typhoon plant, which is part of the Russian defense industrial base in the city of Kaluga region, Russia, reported by Andriy Kovalenko, head of the National Security and Defense Council Center for Countering Disinformation on Telegram. Kovalenko said that this plant produces communication systems, electronic intelligence and radar equipment, and manufactures components for surveillance and guidance systems installed on military equipment. Typhoon also produces parts for air defense systems, aircraft and missile systems, and maintains and improves equipment in service with the Russian military. In addition, the plant produces electronic modules and specialized equipment needed to integrate various military systems. An explosion was heard in Kharkiv on the morning of the 25th of November. A fire was raging at the site of the attack and 15 people were injured, reported by Igor Terehov, mayor of Kharkiv, on Telegram, Oleksiy Negubov, head of Kharkiv Region Military Administration, on Telegram.
An explosion has been heard in Kharkiv. Be careful! The attack hit the Kievsky district of the city. There is a fire at the site of the hit.
About details, Oleksiy Negubov specified that the fire broke out on one of the central streets.
Emergency services have been sent to the site of the hit. Civilian infrastructure and cars were damaged. There are casualties and emergency medical aid is being provided at the scene.
As of 9 a.m., the strike had injured 13 people and 9 of them had been taken to hospital. Terehov said the Russians hit a densely populated residential neighborhood. The strike hit the area surrounding the multi-story buildings. Outbuildings and cars were on fire. At 9:22 a.m., Senegubov reported that the number of injured people had risen to 15. Firefighters have contained the fire caused by the Russian attack. Ukraine's general staff has reported that over 11,000 North Korean military personnel are stationed in Russia's Kursk region, and they have participated in combat against Ukraine's defense forces. Reported by Radio Svoboda citizen Anatoly Barhilevich, chief of the general staff of the armed forces of Ukraine. About details, Barhilevich also detailed the nature of the North Korean military personnel whom Russia has already deployed to Kursk region.
These are mostly general military units. They are disguised as the indigenous population of the Far East. They also have the appropriate documents and have been trained to conduct operations in the European sector.
Previously, South Korea's national intelligence stated that North Korean soldiers who had previously been sent to Russia were now in Kursk region and were already engaging in combat operations against Ukraine. Bloomberg reported that North Korea may send up to 100,000 troops to support Russia's war in Ukraine. Fortifications are being meticulously constructed near the city of Zaporizhzhia in preparation for a potential Russian offensive. Though some Ukrainian commanders believe that Russia is not yet ready for a large-scale attack in this area, reported by The Economist.
Ukrainian intelligence believes that Russia is gearing up for a bold assault on Zaporizhzhia city, 30 kilometers from the front. When exactly, no one is clear, but it makes some sense. As one of 3 remaining centers of heavy industry in the country, the provincial capital remains crucial to Ukraine's survival as a functioning state.
About details, the report states that new defenses are being built in rings radiating outward from the region center. The article says the work is thorough minefields, engineering obstacles, and structures made of concrete and iron, unlike the more chaotic picture in neighboring Donetsk province, still the site of the heaviest fighting. At the same time, not all Ukrainian military personnel consider an attack on Zaporizhzhia inevitable. During his presidential campaign, elected President Donald Trump claimed he could end the war in Ukraine within 24 hours. Trump calls one of the key reasons for such a step the U.S. reluctance to continue paying military and economic assistance to Ukraine, Reuters reports. Trump suggested that with financial backing from Europe, potentially using $300 billion in frozen Russian foreign currency reserves, he could negotiate favorable terms for ending the conflict with Russian dictator Vladimir Putin. This prospect has raised concerns not only in Ukraine but also within the European Union and the United Kingdom. A deal that weakens Kiev's position could jeopardize the security of the entire European continent. However, analysts believe that if Europe demonstrates its willingness to provide substantial financial support to Ukraine, it might prompt Trump to reconsider his plans. European economic backing could also signal to Putin that the West remains committed to a prolonged conflict of attrition, with Ukraine capable of holding its defensive lines despite the ongoing war. One potential funding option involves using frozen Russian assets. However, this approach faces legal and political obstacles. Europe countries are concerned that seizing these assets could violate international law and undermine trust in the euro. An alternative proposal is offering Ukraine a reparations-based loan. Under this framework, Kyiv would pledge its claims for compensation from Russia as collateral. If Moscow refuses to pay, the claims would transfer to G7 countries, which could then compensate Ukraine using the frozen assets. Experts suggest that this approach could ensure long-term support for Ukraine, bolster the Western defense industry, and allow Trump to showcase his peace through strength foreign policy. However, implementing this plan would require unanimous agreement among all stakeholders and extensive coordination efforts. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.